The way that they played offensively was just behind the curve.
Their premiership credentials are slipping by the moment.
The highest they'll get is a wildcard position. I just don't see this team being a top six side. G'day everyone and welcome back to Zero Access Footy. It has been a while since we've been in the studio, mainly due to me. I've been enjoying my July.
Mainly.
I've been enjoying my July. Well, I mean, you could have had a special guest. You could have done something like that, but Ben likes to be antisocial. So here we are.
Sir.
We are back. We've got a lot to talk about. We've missed a lot of footy discussion, really. So with that being said, let's get stuck into our first subject today. We've got Adelaide. Adelaide is going to be in the spotlight today, and it comes off of a very impressive win against the Sydney Swans at the SCG. Very much not an easy task by any means.
They
but
were undefeated before this week.
Yeah, no, very true. So what was that, 9-0 before they lost? So yeah, a massive scalp for Adelaide in a season that very much could have been up in the air. A lot of question marks after their finals last year, and while it looked like it was sketchy to start, they're looking more and more like they're going to secure one of those guaranteed 6 spots in the finals. We don't have a history of jinxing teams, do we?
Good question.
Actually, the opposite. Carlton. As soon as we talked about them winning, potentially, they went on, an 8 or 9 game win streak? I mean, forget about now, but they had a massive winning streak that kept their season alive, and it technically still is. But Adelaide themselves are 12-6. They are just 2 points off they are simply a game out of second place now, which was those Sydney Swans. Percentage is good enough to keep them in the top 6 if they do tie on points. So where do we want to go with this team? How's their fixture looking? How is their form? Where do we see this team finishing by the end of the year?
The next 3 weeks, their fixture does open up a little. They've got arguably 3 of the 4 big Melbourne teams. They've got Collingwood at Adelaide Oval, Essendon at Marvel, and then Richmond also at the Adelaide Oval. So there should be 2 absolute bankables there. And what's going to be a very difficult task this Thursday night, actually, against Collingwood, a very astute team. But they're looking in really good form. They always are going to be an incredible defensive team. They are going to be a really solid team and a difficult team to play against. And they're going to get up in your face. They're going to get up in your grill. They're going to be a really aggressive team. They're the most pressure-happy team. They, I believe, have laid the most tackles this year, and by a fair margin at that. And they make it uncomfortable for you. And like against Sydney, it worked really well because Sydney weren't able to get their handball game going, and they were just able to really hold on and be able to turn the ball over and go from stoppage, really. And that was the main thing. They're looking a lot better offensively than what they did maybe 2 months ago. They've had some good form. They, I believe, have won 7 out of 8 over the last
something around that at the
2
moment.
months, which has been really impressive. So for them, they're in some really good form.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to a lot of what we had said previously in the start of this year about this side, in that the way that they played offensively was just behind the curve.
Yeah.
Like the way that they played was a slow build-up. They try to work their way down the wings. Sure, they've got the tools to potentially play a style like that, but it's a lot riskier doing that than trying to play that aggressive style that just pays off so much more if you've got the kind of players and the personnel to do it. And we all know that Adelaide does.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have always had questions about their midfield because it never screams to you on paper that this is a potential top 4 midfield. But it's led by Jordan Dawson. We all know that. It's been touched a bit by Josh Rochelle and Isaac Rankin, more Rankin as the season goes on. And you've got your likes of Soligo and Berry in there who are more that you crash and bash, Berry much more than Soligo, and I'm liking both of them. They don't necessarily, I don't want to say take the spotlight, but they do all that they need to do, and it feels like more at the moment in order to make that through the middle game style work.
They're all just workhorses.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They won't get outworked. And when you can bank on that basically every week, you're going to be good enough most weeks and against most teams to be better than them. Yeah. And you can stake it, and especially if you're picking up a team on an off week, you will be so much better than them and it will look so like you're so much more in tuned and sort of, I guess, awake. Like you just look switched on. And for them, that's almost every single week at this stage.
I could go on forever about the types of players who are having a fantastic season. Wayne Miller, I think, tops them.
Yeah.
He has become the, I guess, I don't want to say the backup because he's no longer a backup. He's no longer the guy that, cool that we've got depth. He's become one of those relied on players.
Yeah.
Who is he probably Worrell's position a bit. Mitch Hinge too. Yeah, I think he's probably more comparable to Mitch Hinge than he is to Josh Worrell because Josh Worrell very much more in the air while Hinge can get in the air but works a lot more with the ball in his hand. But in terms of those who've stepped up, Adelaide keep finding more and more. And I like the fact that it seems like they're working out what their forward line looks like because Fogarty to start the year struggled in front of goal. Yeah. Now he's out on a ridiculous accuracy pace. He's doing really well.
Yeah, I think he's kicked 20 goals in 6 weeks, and it's like 20 goals 9 or something ridiculous. Unfortunate that he got a 3-week suspension, but
at least they know what their plan looks like. And honestly, when you are playing like two of the bottom dwellers of the league. And a Collingwood side who is in a lot of good form, but at the same time, you have forwards to back him up. At the very least, like, it's not a bad time. You'd obviously wish he wasn't suspended. But, hey, if you're going to take 3 weeks off, take the rest now when you're coming up against two of the bottom two sides.
Yeah.
But I liked Thilthorpe, despite the fact that he hasn't been kicking the goals that maybe we thought he would. He's played up the ground. He almost is second in line to Josh Tracy, I think, this year in terms of form, in the sense that he plays up the ground, he gets himself involved where he needs to, and helps create opportunities for Tex, for Fogarty. He's probably not going to do that for the next 3 weeks as much, but at the same time, like I said, he's playing his role in a way that I really, really like. Tex has probably struggled to find form most of the year, but he's had a couple of good games as a recent. There's positives all around that you can look at with this side, and I just wonder if they are a lock for a top 6 spot without the whole wildcard shenanigans. You'd think. I can't remember what their last game looks like, though.
I think they're pretty much locked in because when you consider they've got Richmond and Essendon, which you bank those two, you're sitting on, 56 points? That's definitely top 6.
Yeah. So Collingwood is going to be, I think, their biggest test for the rest of the year. Then, of course, those two sides. Who was it in 23? Because 24, they play GWS, which honestly could be anything. Fremantle, never mind. Yeah. In 23, they play Fremantle at Optus. That'll be a great test for him. That will be Darcy Fogarty coming back. That is first game back. Again, maybe perfect, maybe literally perfect timing for a suspension. He literally just gets a rest.
They're hitting their straps at the right time, which you couldn't have said last year. And that's a really good thing. Rankin's getting in some good form. Rochelle's hitting the scoreboard consistently now. And as you said, their keys are starting to click, which was a big issue for them earlier in the year.
How much do you look at it, though? Sorry. How much do you look at it, though? How much does it matter? Because we all know where their improvement needs to happen and it's finals time, which you could say about any team making finals, but specifically this side after how last year went.
I think they can push for top 4. Whether they make it will be really difficult to tell. But let's say they win 3 games, they go 3-2 to close out the year. That probably sits them maybe around 5th or 6th. They'd be playing one of the wildcard teams, which looks to be at this stage a Melbourne team. I'd still back them in at home, but they lost to 2 Melbourne teams last year.
Yeah.
And so it's really difficult to see sort of exactly where it ends up. Like they could be playing in Geelong.
I was going to say, right now, they would actually be up against Collingwood.
Yeah.
And we know how that went last year.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to see exactly where they'll end up. But I think for them, they're on the right track, which is the important thing.
Exactly right. So, lots of positives in terms of what we're looking at for Adelaide. And let us know as well in the comments what you guys are thinking about Adelaide's season and whether you think they are top 6 bound. But we're going to look at the rest of the round. Of course, we did mention that Adelaide win, but for Sydney, I guess, in terms of talking about this game, because it was a very interesting game. Obviously, Friday night game has a lot and this one had a lot of implications on how the ladder will look. Sydney are now back with the pack. They are now with all those teams that we were talking about that were in the mix and the hunt around mid-year for the wild card. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's where we're thinking Sydney will end up, but this game did not help them.
Disastrous end to the season if they were to drop that far. But their premiership credentials are slipping by the moment.
Yeah.
Slipping by the minute. to be honest, every challenge that they've had in recent times, they haven't really been able to pass it, to be honest. Like over the last sort of, let's call it 6 weeks, they struggled to beat St Kilda at home, struggled to beat Port Adelaide away, lost to Brisbane, who would have been one of the teams they would have been contending with, beat a Bulldogs team who cannot defend, to be honest. They beat they lost to Fremantle, and now they've lost to Adelaide. Every challenge that they've had, they've lost.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of teams like that this year have ended on the bad side of things, but Sydney still sits second right now. And I'll be completely honest, looking at their future schedule, I'm seeing 5 out of 5 wins. At the very least, this needs to be a perfect window. It doesn't have to be perfect games. That can be close wins like they did against a Port, who they come up against at some point within these next 5 games. This Sydney side, in terms of what they need to work out, where do you think their biggest problem on the field lies? Because it screams defensively.
Yeah.
Curnow has seemingly found his form a little bit more as the season has gone on.
Have a good game.
Didn't have a good game, but I mean, throughout the rest of the season, he has looked really, really nice. Obviously, comparing it to how he started, he's fresh with a bunch of new teammates, so you're not going to be able to sit there and say, oh, he needs to play really good. But I think when it comes to this team, they need to work out whether it's matchups, whether it's switching roles, because personnel, obviously, they're not going to do much about it. I'm trying to think where their changes would be. Where could this team make a change?
It's really difficult. I think, honestly, it could be midfield for me. Like what they've lost in moving Rowbottom out and what they've gained putting me on the forward line has been, it's worked, but I feel like sort of the defensive lapses you often see from the likes of Heaney and Warner, because it's not what they're expected to do, could very well sort of be, I guess, neutralised if you put someone like Rowbottom in there, because you know he's been able to do that recently. And I feel like what you gained might not be as important as what you lost with that defensive-minded stuff, because, yes, Sheldrick replaces a lot of the contested stuff, but whenever they don't win a centre clearance, they immediately lose it. And that's a big issue.
A few other changes here. Jai Sarong, who was notable for his backline play, he moved to the wing this weekend, or the previous game. At least that's where he's listed. Harry Cunningham's another one who's now out for a bit of time. And so the other guys they're relying on, Tom McCartan, who's been all right. He's been fairly good this season. Nick Blakey, who we know at his best can fly. Dane Rampy, who questionable.
The age is probably catching up.
Same with Callum Mills, I think. I think Callum Mills has found a role that works for him on the halfback in terms of keeping him involved with the play. But it's like, one-on-one wise, are you trusting, or at least defensively, are you really trusting Callum Mills that much? I think he's got his positives, but not enough to really make things change. And then Will Edwards is there.
He's had a really good season. I can't really question a lot of what he's done, but again, finding the balance for them defensively is a big concern.
And injuries do not help out.
Yeah, that's also true. On the Saturday night, though, big game, Collingwood Carlton. And Collingwood get it done. They are on a really good run of wins at the moment. And Carlton are maybe starting to do the opposite after their own run of wins.
Exactly right. Well, you'd argue that they shouldn't have had 2 of their players, but we're not going to go into that.
Salty North.
That's one thing that I missed in my hiatus. Didn't get to talk about in my hiatus. I would have gone nuts. But we've had our discussions off camera. Look, I'm not gonna soak on it too much. But at the end of the day, Collingwood managed to get it done, and Carlton, the chance is still there. I mean, I don't know what their run home looks like, but this game...
It's not easy.
This game definitely would have made them frustrated, would have made the Carlton faithful frustrated, because you're thinking, like...
Absolutely.
They were an after the siren kick from grabbing points against these guys last time they played. They probably would have felt like, hey, we could maybe pip this one from them. And no, just straight up no. It just did not happen. So
they didn't look like what they were a month ago.
They managed to claw back a couple of times, but yeah, I think Collingwood just always kept it at a favourable pace for the entire game. And so I'm thinking, for Carlton's sake, do they hope to make a notable change? Well, they kind of have to. They're forced to with Harry Mackay being out for a little bit. I'm wondering, where does their change come from? Who could they potentially move down there?
Not a
I
whole lot
don't
of
see
options.
much.
Nah.
I like how Brody Kemp has been,
I
but
disagree.
you don't like Brody Kemp?
No, not as a forward.
Not as a forward. Yeah, no,
Not
that's
as
a
a
fair
forward.
point. Look, I think he's had his moments this year, but yeah, it's there's nothing that jumps off the page at you, is there?
No.
Nothing. Harry Mackay. It's crazy that Harry Mackay is still being relied on that heavily. There could be someone in the ranks of Carlton that we are completely forgetting about, but
It's nothing.
do they
obvious.
maybe say, "Hey, Harry Dean, let's have fun"? Like
Lewis Young, there you go.
Lewis Young, down you get.
Yeah, nah.
Mitch McGovern will be one that they'll probably need to rely on a lot.
Yeah,
Thank God they didn't
absolutely.
lose him in the off-season. Could you imagine right now for Carlton without Mitch McGovern? Ugh. It'd be as bad.
yeah, not great.
Mitch McGovern being your main forward is already like not something you want to be saying. But
Nah, that would be horrible.
him being the only forward is even worse.
Shocking. Back to Collingwood, though, for them, they've just bought in over the last, 6 weeks, let's call it. They've looked a lot better than what they were. They're starting to score consistently now. I mean, you can question who they've played. If you want to get up who they've played over the last month or so, I don't think it's been, certainly hasn't been any of the best teams, because that is coming up for certain. But I think it's the likes of Richmond, it's the likes of Port Adelaide, it's the likes of Carlton, and that's when they're able to score. They still haven't beat a team above them. On the
Yeah,
ladder.
that's wild. That's really wild.
They've only drawn to Hawthorn. That's the only time.
It's good to get
So-
at least 2 points out of it, I guess. I don't know.
It's going to be very interesting for them in the back end of the year, because if they can't keep scoring like this, they're going to need to rely defensively. And without Darcy Moore, who, I mean, you can make the argument that he's actually been more detrimental to them this season.
I was waiting for that because
like-
I'm like, they've actually been all right defensively, have they not?
You can question that. And Billy Frampton's had a great year. Like, he has been super, super difficult to pass. But honestly, they've got 4 very difficult games coming up. I see a world where they lose all of them. And it starts this week against Adelaide in Adelaide. But man, they just pull out some crazy.
I was going to say
performances
this
now and
this
then.
is going to be a game where like that. I reckon at the Adelaide one, which we are talking about, so I'll hold off on the prediction. But this is definitely going to be the start of an interesting test for Collingwood,
Yeah.
because I think it's fair to say they at least like the highest they'll get is a wildcard position. I just don't see this team being a top 6 side, which is nothing against them because it is like a pretty like solid effort that the
absolutely.
top 6 is so heavily congested to the point now that the top 2 side, one of the top 2 sides that I thought was a lock for top 2, not even close to a lock.
No.
These guys, they're going to have a fun couple of weeks, I reckon. And if they started off as positively as a win at Adelaide against Adelaide, then maybe I'll be sitting here wrong. But for the moment, I think it is going to be a bit of a rougher outing for Collingwood over the next month. Either way, you take the wins, especially against a threatening Carlton
Gotta
side.
bank them.
And then, speaking of wins, did you do your tips for this game? I didn't. But what a shock, hey?
If I did enter my tips, it certainly would have been tipping Essendon. That is for absolute certainty.
This is... God, I'm going to give all the credit to Essendon because God knows they need it. What the hell is GWS, man?
Are they the strangest team of all time?
They honestly could be, but like you came into this year going like, this team is a bit of a wild card in how they play in general, right? The Orange Tsunami
saw it
likes to be a bit of an on and off thing. This year has been a step above. How do you go from beating
Ridiculous.
Fremantle on their best win streak of all time to losing to Essendon?
It's a bit nuts, isn't it?
Are they really that keen to play at NG Stadium? Because they've done some nut stuff on their home grounds. They've pumped Brisbane and literally put up record-setting
14 goals in a
numbers.
quarter.
And then, I mean, you can compare Jake Stringer's game then to Jake Stringer's game against Essendon.
Oh
and you
my
go,
days.
what the hell happened? Did he age 10 years during this game?
Possibly.
Well, he tied the record for the most amount of points scored without kicking a goal.
You know who the other one was?
Probably Jake Stringer again.
Justin Longmuir.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I remember that stat. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say well done, Essendon. I'm going to give a lot of credit to him.
Oh,
Sam
man,
Durham has been
Essendon.
wrapped as the next saviour. Good luck with that headline, I guess. Zach Merritt had a good game.
That he did.
Haven't been able to say that for a long time, it feels like.
Not a match-dominating game, that's
It's
for
just
sure.
what they needed, though. They just needed a win. It doesn't matter how you get him. Good to see Dyson Sharp play a big part of it as well, man.
Yeah, they're young guys as well.
As soon as he played that first game and he kicked those 2 goals and then got injured, like, you're going, man, he looks exciting, but damn, does it suck that he's out for this long.
Yeah.
But it feels like they've hit really well with Dyson. It feels like that pick has worked out really well.
Yep.
Jacob Farrow as well, 2 goals.
Moved around and it really worked.
Yeah. Angus Clark as well, who's been out for a bit of time. Yeah. He got to get a bit of a run. Not as impactful as you maybe think, but, I mean, the opposite way. Not as statistically kind of outputting as you'd think, but in terms of the impact he made was fantastic. I'm just looking through a bunch of these guys. Even Sullivan Roby got on the board. Look, I think all 3 of their picks are progressing quite nicely.
Yeah. Nobody can really question the progression of their young guys. I mean, obviously what happened with Caddy you never really want to see, but some of their experienced players finally stood up. Carl Langford had a couple good moments. Peter Wright was able to kick a really important goal late, and they responded. Like when you saw the Giants go in front, you thought, okay, it's a good team. They've clicked it together. They're going to be able to keep going now and maybe put even a couple more on the board, and you're just going to be proud of the effort Essendon gave. But no, they kept going.
Yeah.
They didn't stop. And that was probably the most impressive thing for me. I would never have guessed that, to be honest.
I think some people maybe would have guessed it because it's GWS.
The crowd didn't. There was about 2 people there.
Can you blame them? Can you blame them, really? But for the ones who did go, congratulations on witnessing a fantastic moment, I guess.
Yeah, first of the year for
Jake
them in
Stringer
Melbourne.
finally wins them a game. Dude, they went 8 goals 16.
crazy.
He puts 1 on the board, and it's a GWS win. Oh my god, that's Tom Lynch levels of ridiculousness. Wild, yeah, wild indeed. Either way, those are the games we're going to have a look at in terms of looking at the rest of the round. What was the start of the week?
Saints.
That's right. Yeah. We'll leave that. We'll leave that for just a sec. Port Adelaide honestly gave a decent fight to Fremantle, but Fremantle did what they needed to do. North Melbourne versus Melbourne got off to a good start North and then
Couldn't do anything after.
flunked in the second half. Managed to make
Jefferson
it look close.
Finally had a good game.
Yeah. He's been
goals.
average, but always at least put 1 on the board from memory. But 4 goals, fantastic stuff from him. West Coast versus Brisbane, another game where, the losing side put up a decent effort.
Started really well, but just couldn't hold on against a very
Brisbane side that we honestly should have known was going to come back around.
I said probably about a month ago they're not going to lose from here on in.
Yeah, I remember specifically you saying, like, those boys, you just can't count them out despite how bad the losses look. And maybe it was an easy punt to take, but at the same time, it was a punt to take, and it's paid off dividends. A team that we can't say kept up the fight was Richmond versus Hawthorn. Unfortunately, Hawthorn just ran away from that one.
Yeah.
Gold Coast versus the Dogs. Jesus Christ, Gold Coast apparently single-handedly trying to help Melbourne out.
I think I said it after the Gold Coast game that they wouldn't lose a game from here on in, and they have not lost a game from here on in.
Who's this?
Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane. That was a couple of games ago, but yeah, right. Either way, that Christian Petrarca trade, if they don't turn it around anytime soon in the next few years, could be seen as the worst trade of a generation.
You know what's ironic? If you spoke to a Melbourne fan at the start of the year and said you're going to have pick 5 and you're going to have pick 13, they would have thought, okay, perfect.
We traded Max Gawn.
We had a shit year and Gold Coast had a good year. Brilliant. But no,
it's the other way around.
But they don't care. They get the same picks.
Yeah, you almost wonder, like, imagine if Melbourne played or had the season we thought they were going to have, and they ended the year with not only, like, pick 1, 2, or 3, but pick 5 as well. Like,
no,
ridiculous.
Criminal.
Well, they would have ended up being pick 6 because Melbourne probably would have taken the spot if it went the way we thought. But that's not the reality we live in. Gold Coast actually stink, and the Dogs just
should Damien
took
Hardwick be fired?
Yes, it's getting close. But that is the round outside of the Thursday night matchup, which we're going to have a bit of a chat about because I know you love your Saints. I know you've got a lot of favourites on that team.
Love's a strong word.
It's a love-hate relationship, as in...
It's a lot of hate.
Yeah, it's a lot of hate. Is it? What did you hate this week, mate?
What didn't I
Outside of
hate?
Anthony Caminiti, you can't say Caminiti.
Hey, don't hate's a strong word.
It's not strong enough. For you, at least. I've got no problems with Caminiti. I think I'm sure in real life he's a fantastic bloke. Unless he isn't, I don't know. Does Saints Nation have mail on that?
He hasn't done a VFL game yet, so I cannot say.
Either way, let me know.
We just got off to a shocking start. Like, that's the simple answer. Like, they kicked 4 goals in 5 minutes, what felt like.
Yeah.
And you could just see, like, it's been a consistent theme this year. Every time we've played a good team, we come out and we look terrible. We are shaking in our boots, as they say. There's a snake in my boot. Sorry. And every single time we look fumbly, we look below the level, and we simply don't look like we were prepared to play in a big game. And that's the most frustrating thing. It hasn't changed. And once again, our system does not hold up. We said it beforehand. Ross specifically said, GMHBA, there's very small wings, so it's going to be a corridor-dominant game. Barely used the corridor at all. I reckon we used Ryan Burns on the wing in a one-on-one marking contest more times than we tried to move the ball down the corridor. Ryan Burns is smaller than me.
And there was moments where it worked. Like, I'm thinking of a Jack Higgins goal. I can't remember. I think it was the second quarter to left of screen where they moved it through the midfield. Naz took Ocean Mullen out of the contest completely.
Yeah.
Started running wing side so that pressure's now gone. And then the Saints managed to work it through the midfield and got a literal coast-to-coast wide open goal from it. There's moments where it happens. And so, obviously, professionals will understand it more than I do, or any of us do, in terms of how impactful GMHBA, Geelong at GMHBA are defensively, because I'd imagine teams know that the corridor is working more and more, but doing it against the Geelong side who knows how to shut a corridor down most of the time, it's probably really, really hard. So, I'm thinking maybe the Saints came into that game going, all right, we know the game plan ahead of us, but how are we going to implement it when game time comes around? And it's all talk up until the moment you start playing. And obviously we all know how good Geelong can be at that ground. I think it's just sometimes the ways that we miss them doing it is what will eventually surprise teams. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the Saints, when they did it cleanly. They actually did it quite nicely.
There were great passages, but the issue is once again the start. And when you haven't beat a team above us on the ladder, you got to start asking questions. But at the same time, neither is Collingwood, and people are loving what they're doing at this stage. And we've got a relatively, I'm not going to say
it can come
easy,
down to form, man. It can come down to form. They're on 5 in a row, I think. And you think about some of the wins, they beat North by 4 points.
Yeah.
I know, and right now North are getting a lot of flack in terms of their form, because it's you had that good run, your chance to finally make a wildcard position and make a run at finals, and you kind of fold the way you have against some of these teams that you need to pick off in order to get yourself to the finals. It's all down to narrative in a sense. Sure, the Saints narrative could be a bit rough this week, but that could all change around with your game coming up this weekend, which we will be talking about, by the way. We will be talking about that.
We'll be doing more than just talking.
We'll be talking about 30 minutes of the Zaff Cup. We'll hold off on that. But look,
who else up zaffing that cup?
Who else is up zaffing that cup? Still the best line ever from Zafflog 1.
Man.
Zafflog only 1 at the moment. Look, I think in terms of the discussion for Saints being good enough, the good thing is from a neutral perspective, have seen improvement as the year has gone by. I've loved Hugo Garcia. I love how he plays. Same goes with Max Hall, honestly, but Hugo is consistent. Hugo is really consistently
Max
good.
Hall had 20 and 2 on the weekend.
Yeah, but he's been doing 30s. He's been doing Sacramanos, I'm almost certain, this year. So, I don't want to discredit Max Hall being
the GOAT.
He's off, but he's not. He's not off at all. I think just Hugo is now a 30 disposal getter on a pretty regular basis. Who would have predicted that? Yeah. Would Saints fans even predict that at the start of the year?
Most Saints fans barely had him in the best 23.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what a step up from the young man.
Yep.
And I think that's just a sign of things to come. I think Naz, I definitely didn't think he'd have such a a kind of mid-year, I guess, in terms of his standards the last year he set were
the
unbelievable.
Issue. Yeah, it's the standards you set, and then based off of your own expectation. I don't think he's had the year he would have wanted, personally.
Yeah, exactly right. I think he's learning, though.
Absolutely. To be honest, it's a big learning year for the entire group, to be fair. Like, you brought in
It's a
so
chemistry
many
year.
players.
It's a chemistry year in a sense.
Yeah, and we still haven't even seen Max King yet.
Oh, God. I knew he would show up this round.
It's going to be criminal, man.
I knew he would show up.
You guys are going to get butchered. But we do move on, though. Thursday night kicks off with a bang this week, round 20, heading into the final month of the season. Adelaide versus Collingwood.
Little glimpse of this one during this episode. I remember that. But test for both sides. We've talked about how good Adelaide have looked. We have mentioned Collingwood's good form. And honestly, both of their intentions rely very heavily on this game. Of course, you take it week by week, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Yep.
But if either side loses this game, obviously the consequences are much harsher for Collingwood than it is for Adelaide. Yeah. But whoever loses this game, do you think that their end goal is done by that point? Because I think it leans way heavier on Collingwood purely off a schedule.
Yeah.
If Collingwood are to lose this game and lose an opportunity that I think most people coming into this game, if they've been paying attention, know they can pick this one off.
Absolutely.
If they do lose this game, do you reckon that their season could be done? Do you reckon you're kind of half foot in, half foot out?
Premiership hopes, I think there's a good chance that they are done. When you consider the fact that this is another test against a team above them, and if they aren't able to win, then I don't think
especially
they can
without
win
a piece like Darcy Fogarty for Adelaide that they've been relying on pretty heavily in recent weeks.
Absolutely. So that's the case. And if Adelaide drop this, then it's almost the same thing. I don't think they can win the flag because they're going up against a team who honestly aren't one of the top 8 talented teams. They've got a great system and it is working for them, but Adelaide are significantly more talented and they are the significantly better team in my opinion, and they should be winning this. So if they don't, it'll be very similar to what Sydney did against Adelaide last week.
So I think I agree with your point that Premiership hopes are doomed for whoever loses this game. In terms of who gets impacted the most in the moment, I think definitely Collingwood, because Adelaide, if they lose this one, I think they can pick some back up as the season finishes up. Collingwood, like you mentioned before, they've got a tough one. What are their games finishing off again?
They've got this week Adelaide, next week Geelong. They've got a easy-ish team. I don't know who specifically they play, but it isn't
West Coast at Optus Stadium though, so
not
that
a
could be
guarantee.
interesting.
But then they've got Hawthorn and Brisbane.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult close to the year.
Yeah, it feels like this is a bit of a do or die for Collingwood. Yeah. I'm trying to think though, who would pinch him? Who would pinch him if they did? Geelong would most likely go above them because Collingwood are actually above Geelong right now. That is wild to say. St Kilda potentially. I mean, I think their schedule gives them a chance. Who knows with GWS? Who knows? Carlton, they're still trying to fight. God, if North picked them off. Could you imagine?
Crazy.
I think it would be a very, very... I think while I think looking at their schedule or looking at the ones trying to pinch them, I think Collingwood will finish around 10th. I still believe that, any type of hope of getting out of Wildcard even, I think, would be done.
Yeah, I think for them, I think they finish 8 or 9. But, again, it's a big week this week. I'm still leaning towards Adelaide, though. I just think at home they want to reverse the fixture. Rankin, first game against Collingwood since what happened last year, where he got suspended. I think Adelaide can sneak it by 22 points.
I'm going Adelaide as well. I'm going to go 10 because I genuinely believe this one will be a nail-biter in a sense that like both sides will live up to the moment.
Yep.
Let's go the next one, which I'm really excited for actually, because Melbourne-Geelong surprisingly is like the opposite way I expected this. Even just a month ago, I thought Geelong was like a top 4 side. They're sitting 9th. Melbourne's sitting 6th. So this is their opportunity because the Dogs play Richmond. So there's a problem there. If Collingwood managed to win this one, then they're just the sniff away. Melbourne will be safe in the top 6 no matter what. But in order to really, because I think Melbourne they're playing with house money at this rate. In order to make the most of that house money, they need to play all guns blazing against this Geelong side. They're lucky it's at the MCG. I'll give them that. Even then, I reckon this team would be a perfect candidate for one to just, no matter what, go straight down the middle against them. This side could really, especially with the Max Gawn advantage over these guys. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It could set them up perfectly. There's no homes as well for Geelong, which even makes it even harder to see their midfield getting on top.
Are you thinking Melbourne? Because I'm genuinely thinking Melbourne could, but Melbourne are prone to moments of lapse, and that's purely because they're a young side.
It pains me to say it, but I think Melbourne are the favourites, but I don't know if they get it done. If that makes sense.
I do understand it. Yeah, it's because it's the idea of the experience, getting over the top of a bunch of youngsters who can play with a lot of heart, but when it comes to the big moments, do they have the finesse and the cleanliness?
You can have Mullen on Pickett as well, that sort of thing.
I don't know if the Mullen on Pickett will be as effective because Pickett is a freak of nature. While Naz is too, Cozzy, I think in terms of consistent play, or at least impact on the team, he can break a tag.
I think he's had a better year this year than Naz.
I'm hesitant to say that because, again, we're comparing Naz to his godlike form last year.
I do think Cozzy is very susceptible to a tag, and we've seen that multiple times already this year.
Yeah.
So with that, I actually do sort of lean back to Geelong. Going Geelong by 11, though. I think this will be a super high-scoring game.
I hope it is. God, that would be good fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just... Because Geelong's backline... I reckon they could hold up against the forward line that Melbourne offer. Van Rooyen's been good, but not game breaking.
Yeah.
And although Geelong are without Jeremy Cameron, Paddy Dangerfield can occasionally have a big one. Ollie Dempsey off the wing can beat a team that's Shannon Neal's been okay. Sean Manor, he's actually their biggest offensive threat, I reckon. He has been unreal. Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hammy.
Melbourne. It's all Melbourne for me, man. Yeah. I'm going to say Melbourne take this one. I think a close game is actually 24. I'm going to go 24, but it's close because these guys are just putting numbers on each other. Okay. I reckon this could be awesome.
Well, we skip to the Battle of the Bridge.
Yes, we're going to have a look at that one.
GWS versus Sydney, the most confusing team ever versus a really weird top 4 team in Sydney, top 2 team.
This game always...
was so clear
Look, here's the thing. There's some games that, it's so random. Of course, the showdown. Port Adelaide can occasionally, even at 15th place, pick off Adelaide. We've seen it happen already this year, and we've seen close ones over and over again. We've even got the Derby, or was it the Derby?
Derby. Well,
the WA side do it different.
East Coast is Derby, West Coast is Derby.
So it'd be Derby. The Fremantle versus West Coast game. Let's stick with that. I think the reason we've gone with this one, obviously, GWS can make any game competitive if they play just decent football, but there are occasional times where they play god-awful football, as seen last week.
I straight up don't know what GWS are.
But there has been form with the Battle of the Bridge. Sydney regularly outperform these guys.
Yes, and they also don't have Toby Green.
That's a big problem. I think this is going to be a Sydney win by 30, but of course, there's just probably the biggest amount of unpredictability.
There's so much upset potential in this game.
There's so much unpredictability,
as a
man.
Saints fan, I really don't want it to happen.
Who in the forward line, though, would punish these guys? Is Cadman playing? Cadman would be playing.
Cadman's playing. Jesse Hogan, I don't know if he is going to play.
Hogan's form doesn't give me much hope for him anyways, even if he does.
Playing. I think because of his finger injury, he's out. So
yeah,
the big Gru.
Cadman could have a good one. Grushevsky, I do like Grushevsky. He's great fun to watch.
Despicable.
You have these really strange references that scare the hell out of me, man. It scares me beyond belief. Who else in their forward line? Phoenix Gothard could provide problems.
I'm still leaning towards Sydney. I think there's an element of comfortability in this win. Well, they'll just show, yep, we're still good enough.
I genuinely believe there's an opportunity that this one could be high scoring too.
I'm going Swans by 35.
Yeah, it feels about right. Callum Brown down forward as well. Toby Bedford, he can pop up occasionally. Yeah. Riley Hamilton.
It's been good.
He had a rising star a couple of weeks ago. So
honestly, the most expected thing for me this week is the Giants to kick accurately.
Just honestly, Giants somehow score 150.
Sydney still win.
Sydney still win. Yeah, I'm going to go Sydney by 30. But, God, that is just a kick up in the air. Who knows how that goes, man? I have no idea.
We head back, though, to the double Friday night header between Fremantle and West Coast. Want to get that prediction out
let's
the way.
have a look at that one.
Fremantle by 70.
I'm going to go Fremantle by 70. Jesus.
They're not going to be able to stop the...
I'm going to go Fremantle by 50. Fremantle by 50. I think they'll make it a big game. I'd like West Coast to put up a fight, though. I don't know whether they've got the
they're just not going to be able to hold up
They are
defensively.
officially out of finals.
Yes.
So maybe the motivation to not play well. But, it's against Fremantle. These guys are going to be tough to beat even if you were trying. So you may as well give it your all.
I just think they're not going to be able to do anything defensively. That's my biggest concern. That Voss, Tracy, and Amos might all hit 40 goals this week.
That'd be crazy. Their forward line has been sneaky good this year.
It has.
Amos, I was really worried for, and he's really put that to ease this year.
He's 7th in the Coleman, by the way.
He's been fantastic.
Ridiculous. Carlton versus Gold Coast.
Oh, I can't believe Carlton are favourites.
Whoever loses this game is almost guaranteed, in my opinion, to miss Wildcard.
Yeah.
I have no idea who the hell I'm going to tip.
At Marvel Stadium, I'm going Carlton. Gold Coast have been god-awful at Marvel Stadium. Not just this year, and previous years too, but
yeah,
I'm going to say Carlton win this one. And God, could you imagine if it's comfortable? Could you imagine?
Surely Dimmer gets the sack. There has to be some pressure.
It will be end of the season if he does get sacked. They'll write him out for the rest of the season.
He has continuously said in the media, "It's on me. It's on me. It's on me. I've got to do."
If it's on you that much, how about you step down?
How about you fucking do your job and get this team going? They barely have any injuries.
He's out and out basically said the season's over.
Yeah. How dumb can he be? They're one game behind Wildcard.
Yeah.
You can make a run, but they don't want to, and Damien Hardwick should be sacked.
And it's not like you're gunning for a pick now. You're gunning for Melbourne at this rate.
But yeah, what are you going Carlton by?
I'm going Carlton by 25.
Okay. I'm going Gold Coast. Go on the upset by 18.
Gold Coast have to, man. They have to. Hawthorn Essendon?
Can they back it up?
No. Remember, you thought this is the time. This is the same game at the start of the season where you tipped Essendon to win.
It was. I'm going Hawthorn by 91.
I'm overcompensating. I'm going to go Hawthorn at the end. Yeah, it's going to be big, isn't it? I'm going to go Hawthorn by 80.
Yeah.
Has the third 100-point loss happened already this year?
Yeah, we've had 3.
Happened really early, didn't it?
Sydney
It just hasn't happened in a while.
1-1.
Yeah, that's right. Thank God that happened early because I'm surprised there haven't been more.
Bulldogs versus Richmond.
Bulldogs will take this one. Could Richmond put up a fight?
Is there upset potential?
I don't think upset, but I'd like to say Richmond are competitive. Make it 20. Make it 20. Make it 20.
I'd love to see an upset here. I'm going a close game. I'm going Dogs by 9. But I think there is, honestly, small upset potential.
The biggest frauds in the comp, it feels like, though. And some of it's completely out of their control.
Dreadful.
It could be so out of their control, though, man. I really wish Sam Darcy played more this season.
Yeah.
Brisbane versus Port Adelaide. You reckon? This game is the one you're picking they lose, are you?
No. I'm talking about the 100-point.
Oh, you think Brisbane are going to pump them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They put up a fight against Freo.
Yeah, and they're not going to do it this week.
Nah, I don't think Port will get pumped that much. I'm going to go Brisbane by 31.
Okay, well, you're lame.
Okay, what are you saying?
Brisbane by 100.
Oh, this is your Brisbane by 100.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough.
Number 4.
Strange pick. Either way, we're going to move on to what we've been waiting for, at least, for this entire recording. We have been
the goat of zaffing my cup.
It is officially
It's 1-0
Zaff Cup 2. I can't believe we've made it to 2.
It's 1-0 to me right now.
It is currently 1-0 to you, and I'm worried it will be 2-0. But look, North I think have more of a chance this year than they did last year.
Agreed.
There are definite worries, of course.
Yep.
The idea that TDK and Max King, of all players, comes back in this week of bloody course. And I already talked to you off camera. his first goal will come from Charlie Comben kicking it to him. I'm almost certain. That or Luke McDonald in a 2-on-1 for some reason holding him down.
Yeah.
His teammate could easily take the mark if he just gives him a little bit of body contact, but no, he's going to just drag him and Max King's going to have a shot. It'll be scripted. I know it's coming.
Mate,
I know it is. But look,
umpires to do it.
In terms of the game itself, I think I'm going to be able to go. I don't think I've got anything in the way. I'm almost certain.
Sunday 3:15.
Sunday 3:15. That is prime time.
This is like the greatest schedule of all time.
There's going to be a lot of your Saints friends as well going to that one from what I've heard.
Essentially.
I don't know where we'll be. So if you
Nosebleeds.
see us there and know us as the Zaff boys, then say hi. Actually, don't. We're scared. We're scared of human contact.
Yeah, definitely don't.
But this one is going to be a bit of tension, I reckon. A bit of tension in this one. There wasn't much tension last year. It was kind of me just.
It was the
laugh.
post Nas game.
That's right. It was the week after the game because they played the games ending on the screen.
I know.
God,
Yeah.
I forget how much you guys loved that game. That was so funny. So funny. I've got to back my boys.
Yeah,
If the season's to stay alive, somehow we have to win this game. I'm genuinely believing that if we lose this one, the season is done. I guess we get a cool pick out of it. I don't know. We get pick 6 at this rate.
6 or 7.
Shut up. We'll then be above you guys on the ladder. God, how good that would be.
Lame.
There is a world where North Melbourne sneak into 10th after this week.
That's criminal, by the way.
If Gold Coast beat Carlton and Sydney beat GWS and then we beat you guys, we sneak up to 10th.
I would hate that.
What a world. I think it's almost safe to say right now there's no chance of North Melbourne making the wild card because their schedule is just too difficult in order to do so. But
Well, it starts off by not beating us. So, yippee.
where are the matchups going to be? Of course, if Max King plays, that's going to be a massive magnifying glass on that.
Midfield's a big battle because if TDK is able to return, it's a big inclusion for us.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved so far this year our midfield, like the output that Sheasel can put on, despite the fact that sometimes he does feel like he's getting empty stats. It's been a lot less empty than previous years. In recent weeks, he's actually been getting on the scoreboard too. He's been fantastic. LDU has had tags on him this year, which I was shocked to see. He can occasionally have a bad game if he is tagged, and he often likes to overcook it. But he's been fun to watch. George Wardlaw, God, if he plays, I'll be over the moon. But in terms of the main matchup for me, it is going to be our back line versus your forward line. How do we shut that down? Is it going to be structurally that we find a way to work you guys out? Because sometimes you guys struggle with getting you guys the forward options, but you also have some very, very attacking midfielding. Like Max Hall can get on the board.
Philippou, Wilson, Naz.
Exactly right. So you guys can get some score from there. We've just got to win the midfield clearance game, and I think that'll be a better chance if TDK isn't playing. I am going to back my boys, but I'm going to say by 1. God, that would be fun. Oh, my God.
Well, disappointing.
You're very confident with this.
I'm not very confident. I'm actually not because I don't. We say
You can't be confident when you
say Max King will come back. He will probably miss the next 5
He'll
years
roll
of my
his ankle
life.
walking through the rooms or something.
Right, there's something dumb will happen. Like I can almost guarantee it.
All right. Well, what's your prediction then?
Saints by 31.
Yeah, you're a lot more confident than I am. Let's see, though. We are going to be doing a vlog on it. That is the one thing we were holding off saying.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing the same we did last year, and we're going to have a little on-the-go type of video. We're also going to try and experiment with a bit of individual content, as you saw from Behm while I was gone. I'm going to try and get a few individuals out so you guys can hear more from our lovely faces.
No.
But that is going to be all for Zero Access Footy. Episode number 20 for round 20. We've actually lined them up now, so it's not like we're 3 weeks ahead. So I guess good on me. Either way.
Positives.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe as per usual. Be sure to follow us on all of our platforms as well, Spotify and Instagram, and do we do anything else now? TikToky. Yeah, get stuck into that. But appreciate you guys very, very much. We'll see you all again hopefully next week for the regular schedule. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.